Good morning, students. In quantity question, we continue with exercise 4.1. Now, this is the last question of exercise. The question is, a train travels at a distance of 480 km at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 8 km per hour less, there would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. So in such questions, we take a let the speed of the train is equal to x. So in the question distance is given, it is 480 km. And suppose let the speed of the train is equal to x km per hour. So if the speed of the train is x km per hour and it has to cover the distance of 480 km, it means the time taken by the train to cover the distance is equal to time is equal to distance upon speed. It is 480 upon x. So this was the time taken by the train to cover the distance of 480 km. Now according to question, it is given that the speed had been 8 km per hour less. So according to question, now the speed of the train is x minus 8. The speed of the train is decreased by 8 km per hour. It would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. Now the distance is same. If the distance is same, that is 480 km, then how much time is taken by the train to cover this distance now? It will be time is equal to distance upon speed. Now this is the time which is taken by the train to cover the distance 480 km. So according to question, this time is 3 hours more than the previous time. So it means this time is 3 hours more than this one. So we can say if this is 11 hours, so it will be 9 hours. No, not 9, 8 hours. 3 hours more. So we can say if we subtract this time by this one, we will get 3. So 480 upon x minus 8. This is the time now taken by the train after decreasing its speed. And this was the previous time taken by the train to cover the distance 480 km. So this time is, by decreasing the speed, the time increases by 3 hours. So we can say this time is 3 hours more than this one is equal to 3 hours. Difference of both the timing is 3 hours. Now we can solve it by taking 480 as a common. We can take 480 as common here. In bracket it will be 8 minus 1 upon 8 x minus 8 minus 1 upon x is equal to 3. Now we can solve it like by taking LCM of these terms. We will get 480 into x minus x plus 8 upon x into x minus 8. Okay, simple calculation. And now x is cancel with x1. We get 480 into 8, and in denominator we get x square minus 8x is equal to 3. Now we know that this 3 can cancel 480. So we will cancel 3. We will cancel 480 by 3. We will get 3 with the 3, 3, 6, 18, 160. Now by cross multiplication, if we take these values here towards the RHS, then it will be 160 into 8. 160 into 8 means 1280. 1680. Yes, it is 128. Is equal to x square minus 8x. Now you can simply write it like x square minus 8x minus 1280 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. And in last lecture I explained you how can you solve the quadratic equation by using the middle term splitting. So by using the splitting term, I have to rub this one. So please write all these things in your notebook, all these answers in the notebook. So for splitting term, first we will factorize this value 1280. We will take the prime factor of this number. It will be 2, 6, 4, 0. Then again 2, 3, 2, 0, 2, 1, 6, 0, 2, 8 just 16, 240, 220, 210, and then 2 and 5. So now we have to find the value 8. So what can be the factors? Oh my god. So factors can be 2 is a 4 is a 8, is 16, 16 32, 2 is a 4 is a 8, 8 5 is a 14, 32 and 40. So 32 and 40 are the factors. So in place of 8, we will write 40 minus 32 into x minus 1280 is equal to 0. And now we will open this bracket. Pairing these terms, x is common here, x minus 40, and what is common here is 32. X minus 40 is equal to 0. Let me check. 4 is 8 and 4 is 8. Okay, good. Now x minus 40 and x plus 32. These are the factors. You will say that the speed of the train cannot be negative because we have two values of x, that is 40 and minus 32. So the speed of the train cannot be negative. So we can say the speed of the train is 40 km per hour. Again, it's very important to write the unit with your answer. So this was the exercise 4.1. Now let's do second exercise. Second exercise we have to solve by the factorization method. The same method I explained you in this exercise. The same method we will follow in the second exercise. Find the roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization. So factorization means the same method, that is called the splitting term. Okay. So I will explain only one of the question, that is roots. This is the third part of question 1. Because most of the students get problem in roots type questions. So how will you factorize the terms in which you have roots? So the same method you will follow. Like you will multiply 5 root 2 by under root 2. It will be 5 root 2 into under root 2 will be 10. Yes. And then how will you factorize the 10 so that you get the value 7? 10 is 5 2 is 10 and 5 plus 2 is 7. So in place of 7, we can write 5 plus 2. So by open this bracket, we get 5x plus 2x plus 5 root 2 is equal to 0. Pairing the terms, here x is common and we get within bracket it will be root 2x plus 5. And in this bracket, we know that 2 is under root 2 multiplied with under root 2. So we can take under root 2 as a common. So root 2 is common here. We get root 2x plus 5. So the factors are under 2x plus 5 is common in both terms. Okay. And here x plus under root 2. So these are the factors of the equation. And we have to find the roots. Okay. We have to find the roots. Roots means the values of x. So what are the values of x? If we take this equal to 0, then the x will be minus 5 upon under root 2. Or if we take x plus root 2 is equal to 0, the value of x will be minus under root 2. So these are called the roots of the equation. Roots means the values of x. This was question number first. Question number first has 5 parts. If you have any problem in any part, you can ask me in a Zoom class. Now solve the problems. Question number 3. This is the problem based question. In question number 3, find the numbers whose sum is 27, the product is 182. So we don't know, it means there is 2 numbers whose product is 182 and the sum is 27. Since we solved the equation by forming the quadratic equation, so we can take the, if the sum of the 2 numbers is 27 and if one of the number is x, what should be the other number? It will be 27 minus x. So we will say, let one number is equal to x. The sum of 2 number is 27. This is given in question. So we can say the other number will be. other number will be 27 minus 6. This will be other number. Since the sum of the number is 27, so we can say the other number will be 27 minus 6. Now according to question, it is given that the product of the number is 182. Yes, it means x into 27 minus 6 is equal to 182. And you can open this bracket when 27x minus x square is equal to 182. Now you have to make the quadratic equation. So what will you do? You will bring these terms towards RHS. It will be x square minus 27x plus 182 is equal to 0. Again by the factorization method. In factorization method, what will you do? You will factorize this term. So factors is 2 into means 91. 91 is divisible by 7. 13 7. These are the factors. Now we need 27. What will you do? 7 is the 14 plus 13 will be 27. So we can say it is 14 plus 13. This is called splitting term. Minus 14x minus 13x plus 182 is equal to 0. Now pairing these terms, x is common here, x minus 14 is within bracket and minus 13 is common here. So x minus 14 is within bracket. Now the factors are x minus 14 and x minus 13. X minus 14 and x minus 13 is equal to 0. So these are the factors. Or we can say the value of x. What can be the value of x? It can be 14 or it can be 13. If you are taking the value as a 14, the other value will be 27 minus 14 will be 13. If we take the one number is 13, the other number will be 27 minus 13, it will be 14. Okay. So this was question number 3. Now I am going to explain you fourth question. Question number 4. In question number 4, we have find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose square is 365. Do you know what are the consecutive positive integers? Consecutive numbers means the number which comes one after other, like 2, 3, 5, 6. It means the number which has a difference of only 1 are called the consecutive numbers. So if the one of the number of the consecutive number is x, so what should be the other? It should be x plus 1. Also it can be x minus 1. So we are taking let the two consecutive positive integers are x and x plus 1. Let's two consecutive integers x and x plus 1. Okay, so it doesn't okay, sorry, again, consecutive numbers means the number which come one after the, like 30, 14, 35, 36. So if one number is x, the other number should be x plus 1. Okay, let the two consecutive numbers integers is equal to x and x plus 1. The question is the sum of whose square is 365. So according to question, the square of this and this number, the square of the two consecutive numbers is equal to 365. So according to question, the sum of the whose square is 365. Now we can simply solve it by opening the bracket, like x plus 1 whole square will be x square plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 365. Or for following the quadratic equation, we can solve these values. It will be 2x square plus 2x, and we have to bring this value here towards the LHS. It will be minus 364, and by subtracting 1 from this number. Now we can take 2 as a common from whole this bracket. So we are taking 2 as a common, x square plus x minus 2 into 2, 8 is 16, 182 is equal to 0. So x square plus x minus 182 is equal to 0. By dividing both the terms, both the side by 2, we get this equation. Now we can factorize 182, like we have to find it 1. I think in last question we also factors this term. Na? So we get 2 into 7 into 13. So it means 14 and 13. So the factors are 14x minus 13x minus 182 is equal to 0. Pairing, and then take x as a common, it will be x plus 14. Here will be minus 3, 13 common, x plus 14. So what are the factors? The factors are x plus 14 and x minus 13. It means we have the value of x is minus 14 and plus 13. You will write that negative value is not possible since it is given at the positive indices. So you will say x is minus 14 is not possible. So x is 13. And what should be the other consecutive number? It will be 13 plus 1, 14. So you will say consecutive integer is equal to 13 and 13 plus 1, that is 14. So this was question number 4. Next question, question number 5. For question number 5, I have to clear this board. Question number 5 is the attitude of a right triangle is 7 less than its base. Now just imagine this is attitude of right triangle. Okay, right triangle. This is a right angle triangle. It is given that altitude is 7 less than its base. So let the base is x. What should be the altitude? It will be x minus 7. It is 7 less than the base. If its hypotenuse is 13, find the other two sides. So you will say that let base of right triangle is equal to x. If the base is x, so according to question, altitude is equal to x minus 7. It is given that altitude is 7 less than its base. So, and the hypotenuse is equal to 13 centimeter. So we can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So by applying Pythagoras theorem, we can say that 13 square is equal to x minus 7 square plus x square. And we can solve it like by opening this bracket, by squaring these terms, we get x square minus 14x plus 49 plus x square. So we have to put all these values towards one side so that it can form a quadratic equation. इसको इधर ले जाएंगे. So it will be 2x square minus 14x and 169 minus 49. It will be 169 and 49. Yes. 9 minus 9, that is 0. 6 minus 4 will be 2. 1 will be is equal to 0. Whole the equation is divisible by 2, so we can divide it by 2. We get x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. Now you have to factorize 60 so that you get the value 7. So here's the factor of 60. 2, 30, 2, 15, 3 and 5. These are the factor of 60. Okay. So how will you get 7 here? 2 to the 4, 3 by 15. No. 5 to the 10, 3 to the 6. No. 5, 2 to the 4 and 3 5 to the 15. No. So I have done some mistake here. Let me check. 3 to the 6 and 5 to the 10. 7. No, we can't get 7. Okay. Again, let me check. 2 to the 4, 3 is a 12. Yes. It is 12 and 7. So, in place of 7, we can write 12 minus 2 to the 4, 3 is 12 minus 5 into x minus 60 is equal to 0. Now, open this bracket. You will get x square minus 12x plus 5x minus 60 is equal to 0. Now again, the same thing, pairing and then common. Here x is common, you get x minus 12, and here 5 is common, you get x minus 12 is equal to 0. So the factors are x minus 12 and x plus 5 is equal to 0. So these are the factors. So you can say the value of x will be, it will be 12 or minus 5. Since negative value is not possible for the base, a right angle triangle cannot have a negative base. So we will say the base of this right angle triangle is 12 centimeter. If the base is 12, what should be the value of altitude? Since the altitude is 7 less than the base, so you will say it will be 12 minus 7, it is 5 centimeter. Again, it's important to write unit along with your answer. So this was the question number 5. Now, question number 6. You can pause video for writing answer. Question number 6. A pottery industry produces a certain number of pottery articles in a day. Okay. So there is an industry which produces a certain number of articles in a day. It was observed on a particular day that the cost of production of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on that day. So just try to understand it. On a particular day, on a fixed day, like on this day, today, the cost of production of each article, the cost of production of the one article. Suppose this industry produces X number of articles in a day. So the cost of one article is, say according to question, the cost of one article was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on that day. So if the number of articles produced in a day is X, so twice of X, and according to question 3 more than twice of X. So the cost of one article is how much? It is 3 plus 2x. And the total cost of production on that day was rupees 90. So you have to find the number of articles produced on a particular day and the cost of each article. So you will say, let number of articles produced on one day is equal to x. So the x number of articles produced in a day. And in question it is given that the cost of one article is 3 more than twice the number of articles produced in a day. So it means the cost of one article is equal to 3 more than twice the number of articles produced in a day. It means 3 more than 2x. So this is the cost of one article. Since the industry produced X article on that day, so what should be the cost of that X article? The cost of one article is 3 plus 2x. So the cost of X articles is equal to X multiplied with the 3 plus 2x. Okay, I think it should be clear. Now this is the cost of one article. So what should be the cost of X articles? Obviously we will multiply it by the cost of one article. So this is the total cost of X article. And according to question it is given that the total cost of that day, the total cost of production of the day was rupees 90. So you can say that this total cost, the total production cost is equal to 90. And again we can solve it like 3x plus 2x square is equal to 90, and it will be 2x square plus 3x minus 90. We obtained the equation in the form of quadratic equation. And then again factorize. How we factorize is 2 multiplied with 90. It will be 180. Factorize 180 such that you get the value 3. So factors of 180 is 2 into 45. 3 into 5. These are the factor of 180. Let me check. 2 is a 4, 4 is a 12, 12 is a 36, 36 5 is a, yes, it will be 180. So we have to find 3. What will we do? 2 is a 4, 3 is a 12 and 5 is 15. Yes, the factors are 15 and 12. 2x square, देखो इसको मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हो तो कितना आ रहा है 12 आ रहा है, इसको कर रहे हो तो 15 आ रहा है, and we know that 15 minus 12 is equal to 3. So in place of 3 we can write 15 minus 12. Now open these brackets And again the same method, pairing and then common. I am taking x as a common here. So we are taking x as a common. In the bracket it will be 2x plus 15. And in another bracket we are taking what is common here? It is 6. Yes. Minus 6 is common. 6 to 12. 2x minus, because we have taken x minus as a common, so in bracket it will be plus. 6 1 just 6 and 6 5 is 30. Yes. So 2x plus 15 and x minus 6 is equal to 0. These are the factors. So what are the value of x here? X can be, if we take this value is equal to 0, then the value of x will be minus 15 upon 12. And by taking x minus 6 is equal to 0, we get the value x is equal to 6. Now we will write that negative value of negative number of articles production is not possible. So we can say the number of articles produced on a day was 6. And what is the cost of each article? You will say the cost of one article is equal to 3 plus 2x. That is 3 plus 2 into 6. 12 plus 3, 15 rupees. Again, it's important to write the unit along with your answer. So this was the question number 6. So okay, in next exercise, I will explain you two methods. Actually, one method is called the computing the square method. And it's really easy. And the other one is a very simple formula is called the quadratic formula. The basic thing in this chapter. What is the basic thing is quadratic formula. So for this factorization, here this is a quadratic equation and we factorize it by using the spreading term. Sometimes we do not get the numbers, so that we can factorize it. So by using the quadratic formula, we can factorize any of the quadratic equation. Any of the quadratic equation can be factorized by using the quadratic formula. It is also called the Sridharacharya formula, the name of the Indian scientist. This name is based on the name of the Indian scientist Sridharacharya. So in next exercise, I will explain you two things. One, the computing the square method, and the other one is the most important formula, that is called the quadratic formula, which is very important formula, or even we can factorize any of the quadratic equation by using this formula. So okay, today यहीं पे खत्म करते हैं. Okay, in next class we will continue with exercise 4.3. Okay, bye.